So excuse the eyes darting from this side. It's kind of unnatural looking at a camera on a phone when the actual head of the camera is right there. So with the head, oh, it's readjusting because I just did that. Dummy. Um. Anyway, progress. I mean, I don't know how well this is gonna recall because I'm not using my buds, and my buds usually do a much better job with recording. So maybe later I'll even do put something out about what buds I use because those buds kick butt. So they should be called butt kicking buds. That's earbuds by the way. One thing that you learn, or one thing that you come to terms with at my age, which is now extended, as you can see from the gray hairs, is your body is trying to kill you, right? I just swallowed some saliva in the wrong direction, or it went down the wrong hole, and now I'm choking on a little drop of water, a little drop of spit. It's crazy. Anywho, um, what do I want to talk about? Not a lot. Just touching base because I was not consistent in any means. I want to make these reflections at least 4 days, every 4 days or so. So, um, in order to do that, it needs to be consistent because if you let it lie, let it slide, before you know it, it's 7 days gone, and you haven't made that reflection. I was also dealing with, well, I was just talking about bodies trying to kill me. Tooth problem, foot problem. Now, I'd say to anybody else who had these problems, get to the doctor, get to the dentist, get those sorted out. When it's yourself, you're sort of like, I can't be bothered to go that way. That's a long way to go. So I don't. But I need to. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm over it. So I'm back on, right? Any road. Um, YouTube. I have had a lot of success with. It's been over a month on my other channel. I've had a lot of success with um, shorts. But when I say a lot of success, this is relative success to me. When I say that five of my shorts have gone to 1,000, for other people who do shorts who get like 10,000 on average, that ain't nothing. But for me, who started um, and still have long form videos that I put out that don't go over 40, then 1,000 is a lot. Even proportionately, you'd maybe think hundreds. And I do have a few. Well, not a few. I do have a good number of shorts that have gone for like 150, 200. 150 is kind of like the worst, except for this one outlier, which when I say outlier, an outlier is in either direction. When they say outlier in vidIQ or Think Media, they're talking about outliers doing blooming well. I'm talking about outlier doing terrible. This outlier of my shorts did, last time I looked at it, 16 views for a shot. And if they're putting it into the short thing, surely at least is gonna. I mean, I'm saying 20 would be made. Would like, and to get to 15, it took a long time. It started. It was like five forever, and then it was like six, and then it went up seven, and then it went up tiny ones every few hours, and it was like what? And I was like, no. Notice I did that zoom in, but that was zoom in wasn't on purpose. But it kind of went with my feelings of, damn, what the heck is going on? I don't know what was going on. I was like, 15 on a short? Somebody messing with me. And then people are talking about shadow bans and stuff like that. How am I getting a shadow ban on one shot when the very next one goes on and it comes out with 500? And I'm like, okay, that don't make no sense. Though I put a couple of other ones up recently and they sat at like 10, 20 for, especially when I do them on Sunday. But it sat at about 10 and 20 for 12 hours. Now, me being new to this and me being on it for now it's about 45 days. I guess every minute seems like a huge amount of time because we're talking about when you look at other people who've been on for like 2 years, 3 years. Um, I guess that wouldn't be any time at all for them. They would not be looking, well, maybe some would, but they would not be looking back and saying, oh, wait a minute, 5 minutes ago it was like five, and now it's only gone to six. And I'm like, 5 minutes ago it's now 10, and it's now 20. And I'm like, yeah, good. So maybe I am looking at it really intensely, but relatively, I don't think I am because relatively I ain't been on it that long. So when you're a baby, everything's huge, and this stuff was huge to me. That I only got a 15 on a video, and I think it's still sitting there. Funny thing about it was, I had watched a video earlier where this guy was talking about should I say algorithm? Will that do some damage there? We're talking about the algorithm and how the algorithm um is looking at images and faces and smiley faces if your once it sees that your audience likes happy stuff, it's looking for happy stuff and it'll give them happy stuff. And if that is your audience because they found that you did some happy stuff which went to some happy audience, then they expect your stuff to be happy. And being a short, it was caught and freeze framed with a very unhappy face. Actually, the guy was crying. Um, and he was only crying because it was like, oh, you failed your exams. Oh, boo hoo. Maybe you're going to be crying. Should I say boo hoo? Well, I'm not. That's not me. This is me talking about the other guy. Um, and so with this guy crying, being like the that's basically the thumbnail. You don't got thumbnails in shorts, but wherever they decide to stop it, that's the thumbnail. So they decided to stop it at some guy crying. And so it looks like, oh, this guy is at some kind of funeral or something. So it's saying this is gonna be something sad. And in reality, it was saying, don't give up. So what would have been great was like, ah! I don't know if that looked kind of terrible. Maybe it should have been like a happy face. Or somebody said, my hands are getting tired. Maybe I need a. I guess one of the things I'll need is a stand. That is something that I guess I would need. Anyway, I've been rambling for 8 minutes and I'm going to stop right there. But just the thing that I'll say or the thought for the day is when you're starting, everything is huge. Everything is a gigantic thing because when you're starting relatively, it's not as ridiculous as it looks to someone who's been doing it forever. Worrying about fluctuations, the tiniest fluctuation, is a part and parcel of what's going on. In time, this is gonna even out, and you'll be more understanding and say, "Oh yeah, every now and again, I get that video that just goes 15, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I just redo it." Now, I'm saying that's what you probably say. I have not redone this video. I have looked at the video and I'll say, never again will I touch you. But maybe that's what I should do. Just redo it. And maybe it's like, do I have the patience to look at all of the shorts I've done so far and find out approximately when is it that they choose that still. And if it is a consistent moment in time, I will from now onwards a videotape. Not videotape. I will, when I create that video, videotape. Where does it come from? When I create that video, let's say it is at 1 minute 35 seconds. At 1 minute 35 seconds, I will interrupt my broadcast to put a very happy smiling face, so that the happy smiling face crowd will see my video. Now, this video here is just me rambling, and really it's for me to come back one day and say, ha ha ha. If anyone saw this, hey. If anyone has just started out and they are sweating the small stuff, ain't nothing wrong sweating the small stuff. You need to sweat the small stuff at the early days, because in the long run, you will be able to deal with the big stuff as well. And the big stuff will be a I was going to use a big word. I was going to like a confluence of all the small stuff. And when they come together, that creates the big stuff. So being aware of the small stuff at this time, and that small stuff being big stuff compared to other people that look at it and think, that's just small. Right now, when you're looking at it and it seems big, it is big because you've only been here for 50 days. So if you've only been here for 50 days, every single view, every single like, every single comment is everything to you. And in the future, if you're successful and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, hopefully you'll think back to those times when everything mattered rather than just the general things mattering. So remember these times, cherish these times, experience these times, think about these times, reflect upon these times, because that's what I'm doing right now. Reflecting. So that's me. Done. I haven't come up with a good ending yet, but that sounded good. That's me done. I think I might be doing that from now on. Yeah, probably. That's me done.